Hey guys, Thunderset here, finally getting to a new Elemental Lord with Phosphorage. Very strong. It's really weird because this one's rarity is very low. He's a super rare, while all the others are ultra rare, which makes me believe Konami thought they'd have to limit him at one point or something, because he's clearly the strongest Elemental Lord with the lowest rarity. So, you know, that's pretty weird, but he is very strong. You know, I'm always tossing Elemental Lords into Elemental Sabers to see which one's the best. So far, it's definitely been Windrose the whole time, but Elemental Lord Phosphorage is even better, guys. He does the same thing, just needs 5 light monsters in the graveyard. Once you special summon him, you destroy all monsters your opponent controls. It's just straight up that easy. Same way with Windrose, who will destroy all spell cards. But man, he's super strong, guys. Elemental Sabers are far and away the best way to get him out. I do try other methods with Elemental Lords. I was trying a 30-card Cyber Dragon with this Elemental Lord, but it has to be exactly 5 light, so that's a little harder with a 30-card deck when you're using grass. You can't really fine-tune your graveyard in the way that you can with Elemental Sabers. Elemental Sabers are just too good at it. Led by the boy Molhu, who's a walking Canada. You know, that sometimes the ratios will switch up, but I'm using 2 Lapilia, 1 Malo, because he really fills your graveyard really fast. Nalu, she could fish out an Elemental Lord or a one of our Sabers if we needed to. Makani, he searches an Elemental Lord. Usually, they're just graveyard fodder though. Realistically, you either want to place a monster face down or negate a spell or trap, using these boys to toss in the grave. Hopefully you've already drawn into a Phosphorage. 3 of our best staples, 2 Floodgates, 1 Fiendish Chain, and of course we're running Elemental Training. It's a very good card. It has a second effect that actually might see a little more play now. You can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard, discard your entire hand, then add an Elemental Lord monster from your graveyard to your hand equal to the numbers of cards discarded. So, for a few of these, you can send an Elemental Lord to the graveyard, and then you could send this, discard, say, your 5th monster. You would need to summon an Elemental Lord, and then grab that Elemental Lord in your hand, special summon it. That is a more viable play now when you're really using Elemental Lords with your Elemental Sabers the way it's meant to be. But this guy's strong, guys. He's really strong. Just as easy to get out as any boss monster in this deck. And he destroys all monsters, guys. It's that easy. That's why I'm running 2. You can easily get away with running 1. The way you are able to recycle an Elemental Lord from your graveyard with both Nalu and Training. But I run 2, guys. I want to get the effect twice. Keep 1 on the field. He's just so strong. It's pretty great. You could maybe even run 3 without Windrose. But Windrose itself, since it's searchable, is so strong too, guys. So really stick with it. But you'll see in the replays, this is hands down the best Elemental Lord. I don't know if this is the best way to run E-Sabers, but it's one of the best bosses they can have. So it's pretty crazy, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we are facing a Yami Yugi. I'm using Mind of the Plana. It's not really a relevant skill. I just want to play with it. I hadn't really used it in any extent, so I wanted to try it out. Here we're fighting a Spell Specialist, 30-card, sheer Nui deck. Crazy popular, so hot right now. We're gonna normal summon a Lapilia, set of Training, and our Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Chain is the business. Our opponent uses grass that's greener, but I did not see a World Flame tossed in there, so we're fine. He tries to swing at us with the little tuner, so we use Training to bring out a Malhu. Or Malo dumps Elemental Lord and another Elemental Saber, filling our graveyard up with those live monsters, all for this Phosphorage in our hand, ready to go. Our opponent's doing Synchros from his grave. He uses Spirit Master to destroy our Training. Now he's got a Dragon's Mirror to use more of those zombies in the grave. Brings out another Soul Dragon. Now he's using Shiranui Samurai to add another Spirit Master to his hand. Swings with the boy, but he gets the Fiendish Chain. Now his Samurai Saga destroys all Malhu. We completely let that happen. We're going to Mind of Plana, those banished cards. I don't know where they go. And now we're going to switch all our boys to light. Here he comes, guys. Elemental Lord Phosphorage. We have Palace. We can search a monster and still attack for lethal. He's lethal with the Palace because he's 3k. But look at what we got now, guys. our opponent was not paying close enough attention with that Rainbow Life. He could have used it at any moment. Let us get our Lapalia on the field. Now we get to negate that Rainbow Life with our field spell. Nice and easy. He's not escaping this lethal without a Kite Roid. Gets hit. Great stuff, guys. Okay, facing Yami Yugi. Let's see what he's got first. Going first this time. This deck does have very good first turn plays. Our opponent has Dark Magician Girl sleeve. Looks pretty cool. We have a Palace, Fiendish Chain, Makini is going to throw away a Nalu to search our boy Phosphorage. Very strong first turn play. We also have Fiendish Chain, which is just amazing. I chose not to set training because I really had no intention of using it just yet. So we're gonna wait off, and I'm glad I did, because now that Cosmic Cyclone just hits that Fiendish Chain, which does enable him to do Invoked plays, but I'm not super scared of Invoked plays. Even if it's another Elemental Sabers deck, we're gonna outplay him, guys. Here he's got a Purgatrio, so even if I would have used training, it would have still hurt us pretty bad, but it's no problem. So here we have our Elemental Palace searching our Molehue for us. Molehue's going to come out, switch that boy down. Now we're threatening his destruction. He either has to use a back row or use his Alistair. He chooses the Alistair. We take 500 damage, really no big deal at all. And we still have a training down there. Here Molehue's gonna flip that boy face down again, all the while filling our graveyard. Now we're gonna training out our Molehue to get our oh no, we don't. So we're gonna normal summon the Lapalia. We're gonna use Palace to throw away a Molehue, flip himself face down, flip him face up. Why did we do that? Now we have 5 monsters in our graveyard, guys. We're gonna switch them all to light. Guess what that's gonna bring out? Here it is, guys. Phosphorage. Destroy those monsters. He's still got plenty of back row. Remember, we couldn't do our battle phase because of the search we used Palace for. Now we can do our battle phase. Defense draws, we let it go through. Second defense draw, we're gonna stop it with our Lapalia to hit this boy for what will ultimately be lethal, guys. Fantastic duel. Great, great stuff. Okay, here we are fighting Espa Roba, my boy. Espa Roba going second. No sleeves or mats for this guy, too. People aren't really taking advantage. So here we have a Lapalia. We're facing, of course, a Cosmic Side Reflector deck. We have Makini, too. But, I mean, Lapalia with training is a good first turn play. We're obviously going second, but it would have been a good first turn play. Here our boys synchroing into the very strong Samurai Destroyer. But we have a way to destroy the Samurai Destroyer with no problem. It's called Top Decking Molehue. We throw away our Lapalia, which is something I'll probably regret. I was focusing more on the search rather than the protection, but we should have. Here I'm going to Molehue his Side Reflector, so there's no more synchro shenanigans. He still gets his search. Search is a mercenary, so this guy is fully dedicated to the assault mode archetype. We're going to bring out Nalu after our Molehue. Now we're going to get rid of that Nalu for another Molehue. Destroy that Reflector. We're just filling the grave, guys. We top decked into our Phosphorage. It's over now. He's using a mercenary. Mercenary's gonna destroy our back row. I don't chain it because there's nothing I could have brought out that would stay over that boy. We swing at him for a 1900. We're only 4 in the graveyard, so we need 1 more monster. Now we get it. We're gonna training out a Malo, putting that Molehue in the graveyard. Normal summon another Molehue, switch all our boys to light, and that is gonna be a big, big lethal, guys. Don't even need to destroy all the monsters on the field because there are no monsters on the field. Just swing for lethal. Great, great stuff, guys. Okay, here's a Jack Atlas going second. No skins or sleeves or mats or anything for him. We finally start with a Palace and a Molehue. Pretty good. This Dragon Unity, not a very good play. Just gets him a Leviathan out. He's going to Cosmic Cyclone our Palace. So, you know, it's a pretty strong start for him. But our Molehue's going to be able to discard a Lapalia, swing right over his Leviathan. He's going to have a lot of trouble getting over us now. We're going to train the Molehue into a Malo. If we pull a monster, Malo's going to be real good for us, but we don't, so we just training the Malo into the Molehue. Molehue destroys a face down Phalanx. Dragon Unity Ducks was going to grab that Phalanx and bring a level 6 monster out, but unfortunately for this boy, we had our Fiendish Chain. We're going to training out to the Makini so we could maybe search a little more if we need to. We're going to switch a Windrose with the Nalu just to get her in the graveyard. Now we have 5. Switch them all to light. That's going to destroy the boy. That's going to be lethal, guys. Here we come. Phosphorage, easily the strongest Elemental Lord for these decks. Great, fantastic stuff, guys. Okay, here we are facing a Tristan. You virtually never see Tristan. He does no grit, so you think you'd see him more often, but people don't want to duel as Tristan. But here we are. He is using grit. We don't have an extra deck because we're crazy like that. Elemental Sabers with no extra deck. Start with the Molehue, start with the training. We have fuel for Molehue, and we have our Phosphorage in our hand. Our opponent sets and ends his turn. We use that opportunity to use training to bring out a Malo. Malo's going to throw away Nalu. Throw away another Elemental Saber, guys. I threw away another Phosphorage into the graveyard, and we still have one in our hand. Now we have a Makini. He doesn't have an effect, so we're going to use training to bring out a Lapalia and at least scare our opponent into thinking we could negate a spell or trap. Here he floats a Wattfox out, brings out a Tricky. That's level 7. He's going to Black Rose my field. I choose not to chain my training. Going to save a little bit of resources. We already have 5 in our graveyard for our Elemental Lord, so this boy's in trouble. All he had was a Tricky with a backup rider buff. We're switching all our monsters to light. That brings out the Phosphorage, destroys that boy. Normal summon a Molehue would be lethal, but don't forget about grit. He's in top deck mode. Obviously didn't help him. Probably pretty hard with a Watt Synchro deck. Probably not too many cards you could top deck to save yourself. And he goes for lethal, guys. Great, great stuff. So, you know, it's still Elemental Sabers controlling the way they do. You put monsters face down. You negate spells and traps, all while you're filling your graveyard. You have some pretty good staples, but you just have boss monsters to go into, guys. Windrose wipes all back row. Phosphorage wipes all front row. Absolutely strong combos now. I really do prefer Elemental Lords in my Elemental Sabers. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.